I'm going to Japan, which is pretty cool, or at least I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool for me. And that means I'm going to take some painting stuff, and that means I've got to think about how I can logically pack some of this and still take some clothes. Because this is a lot of stuff, right? So what do I really need? 2 weeks in Japan. I want to do a bit of filming. But what do I really need to take with me? So let's go through this logically. So let's start with surface. And surface comes in two parts. One is paper, and the other is some kind of drawing board or a way of keeping that paper firm if we're not sat at a table, because travelling we're often not. Let's start with the paper though. So I'm going to take a sketchbook. I want something which I can create a book of memories about. And I've been extensively testing, and there'll be a couple of videos coming out about the sketchbooks I've been testing. And I've come up with this series, which is the sort of Stillman and Byrne series of sketchbooks. And here we've got a few options, because I've been testing the different options within that. Now, on one hand, we've got Delta. This has got ivory paper in it. I'm going to put that to one side because I want white paper. I've been enjoying really white paper recently. We're then left with these options. So we can have landscape. Now, this is really lovely sometimes because you can get these amazing panoramas just by opening the whole thing out. And I've enjoyed doing that in lots of my sketchbooks in the past. But if I just want to paint something big, I can't open it out like a portrait sketchbook like you can here and just get almost a letter size surface. The other thing is this is great, but if you are sketching on your lap, it's enormous. So landscape goes away. That leaves us with two choices here, smooth or cold pressed. Now I have been using a smooth one the last couple of months. I really enjoyed it, but I think I'm going to go with cold press because fundamentally it's what I know and love the most. And for an important holiday, very once in a lifetime, a honeymoon, isn't it? We're taking that. So, sketchbook decided. We now have a choice of two drawing boards. Now I could take something like my Etcher bag, but it's quite big and bulky. It's not going to fit in my rucksack. So instead I'm going to take a really lightweight sketchbook solution. And we have a couple of options here. So here is a bit of cheap foam board. But it really does stay together pretty remarkably well. One thought about this is how small can I make it? So the idea here is you sort of clip your sketchbook on up here. So I've got all my clips around the outside. And then I've got space for some kind of watercolours here. And then I can pop a couple more clips on the side. And what you can do, you can pop your brushes through there. So you've now got this kind of portable sketching surface. And there's a video, I've used this in, where I sketched in St Ives in Cambridgeshire. And it works really well. Provides a really firm surface underneath. Option 2 is to take this. There's a few different places you make this. This one is made by, I think they're called Go Sketching. And they have a few clever sketching products that they make. They've got a newer version of this, I think, which is a little more, at least it looks a little better made. This one's well made, but a little sort of, you can see it's a little rough around the edges. Just in terms of simple things like the finish here, just could be a bit better. But it's all right. Now with this, the idea is you put it in your sketchbook, like so. And I haven't tried it out in this sketchbook yet. But in theory, I can pop some clips on. And this is where they have their own clips. But I want to take my clips because they're more useful. So in theory, pop a clip on. And it should provide us a nice and firm sketching surface as well. Which it does seem to be fair. Now, the reason I'm not sure is because this book here, this is a soft pack. So there's a little bit of bend. And I just wonder if I'm drawing, look, it's going to bend at these edges. And at some point that's going to wind me up. So I think we're going to go with option 1. So here we go. We have our surface. And the reason I want to put this on here is because I'm going to work out how much more of this surface I can cut down so that I can take the smallest possible thing, because this is a bit too big for my rucksack. Now, we have got some magnets we can stick on, so we might use those, because the next thing to consider is our colours. And I have lots of options. Again, isn't life more fun with lots of options? So I have this tiny set, got some experimental colours in there. It's designed to be clipped together like so. And again, it's a surprisingly good setup. That would easily clip on there, we can see that. Then I've got this, the portable painter. Now this is really fun as well. A really good portable setup. It's got a big tub, so you can use this for water, or you can mix in it. You can see I've been doing some mixing in it there. And then it's got a couple of edges. It takes a little while. It doesn't just open. It takes a little sort of putting together. But again, we can put it there, and we can easily pop a clip on like so, and that's going to fit nicely. Option 2, this has got some more normal colours in it. Only 6 colours, but that is broadly fine. Then we've got the set that I love. This is my normal set. What I want to see is, can I just clip this on the edge? So how far over can this go? With a big clip, I think that's going to be secure, isn't it? So with a big clip, I can actually move my sketchbook over even more, so I can lose another edge of this. And I suppose I could lose an edge, can't I, here? Because the sketchbook doesn't need to be fully supported. So I think this is going to be my option. And then the decision is going to be, do I use some of these magnets on the bottom of it or on here? We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Because maybe something simple as blue tack or some more clips would do the job fine. So, we're getting there. Apart from this, we need to consider our sketching workhorses. So I've got here, these are most of my pens that are still serviceable. A range of different fountain pens, many of which you will have seen before, and a range of fine liners, many of which you will also have seen before. And the decision is which to take. Now the problem with taking a fountain pen is then I need to take some ink, and then I need to make a mess and risk this exploding in my bag. And for those who don't know, fountain pens, because they have a pressurized container with them with a hole in it, or pressurizable container I should say with a hole in it, they can explode wonderfully on an airplane. So I don't think it's going to be worth the effort, despite how much I love them, not worth the effort of taking these. So instead, I'm not going to take these either. These are all grayscale fine liners. We're just going to take a selection of fine liners. So what have we got in here? Well, let's take a 0.3, a 0.03 and a 0.05. I really enjoy these ones. These are the Faber-Castell. They call them small, and I think this is small as well, which is 0.3, so not that small. And then I'll take a couple of 0.5s and something really bold, a 0.7. Now that should be more than enough to keep me going. Really fine lines, something in between. That'll be good. Next we have like additional things which do make life fun. So I've got in here watercolor pencils and Inktense pencils. And the decision is, I'm going to take some of these, but how many and which ones? Now I think I might take the more subtle watercolor pencils this time. And then I'm just going to pick a small range of colours. So we'll take a blue, we'll take a couple of blues. So those two, got a bright blue, a lighter blue. I'm imagining in Japan there's lots of intricate and brightly coloured things, so let's take a red and an orange, a bright red, a bright orange. Earthy colour is always good to have, and we'll round out our primary colours with a yellow there as well. Now that's a nice selection already. I'm going to take just 2 more probably. That one looks fun. I think this is plum. There you go. I was going to say amethyst, but it's plum. And something a bit more like tonal. So this ice grey, for example, which can just add an opacity. Now I love sharpening my pencils with a knife, but I'm not going to do that because I won't get it through customs. Well, not my hand luggage, which is where all my art stuff will be. So I'm just going to take this pencil sharpener. So there we go. We're getting there. A few bits and pieces. And I'm already scared of how much reorganisation I'm going to have to do. But here we go. Now I just found this as well. I want to take my Fude pens because they are lovely immediate ways of sketching. And I'm going to take one more really fine liner because they have a habit of breaking because of their fineness. And because I think things will be scary and intricate over there, I'm going to wimp out. Take one mechanical pencil. So I'm not taking all of these, but this is my collection of travel brushes. Now the ones I definitely will take. I've got a size 10 round with one of its hairs falling out. I've got a size 6 round without one of its hairs falling out. And these are both good quality brushes. Then I've got this, which is a size 2 mop, and this, which is, I think, also the size 10 dagger. I can say I thought it was a size 2 mop as well. So I'm going to take all of these because this is a relatively small selection. They all have different mechanisms where their brush comes into the handle. Really easy to store and keep, and each of these brushes serves a different function. So that makes sense. Then I have all of these water brushes, which, if I'm honest, most of them I hate. I sort of find them fun for a bit and then I hate them. But the two which I really enjoyed using recently, I'm being really impressed with, are these. So these are by Derwent, and I found them as for £1 each in an outlet store. Got my words out. The brushes are so small that they're really infuriating to work with. I'm not going to use them. I'm just not. But these, look at the brush. It's enormous, big flat brush. None of these provide a flat brush. And look how much water there is in there. It's huge. Enough that I have to empty it out before I get on the plane because it's too much water and they detect it. So I then have 2 flat brushes which can also supply my water, and I've got a selection of other brushes. One addition for the water, I'll take this nice metal tub and this less nice plastic tub, because again I can just fill these up before I go out, and I'll definitely have 2 tiny little bits of water to play with. So the final thing is to get this board down to the size I need it. So I'm just going to draw myself a couple of lines around. I probably want a little bit of an edge, so I'm going to give myself a bit of an edge there. And my theory is that that is all that I will need to have a nice sketching board. Just coming to the edge, I can put some clips along here. Maybe this clip could even go on the side, and then it can hold my brush, one up there to hold another brush, or my pen when I'm not using it. I'm just going to chop that out, and if this is too small, I've got a couple of others I can chop apart as well. So, super lightweight little bit of foam which can fit in my rucksack, I'm pretty sure of that. And let's just assemble how I think it will look. So my idea is we'll be sketching like this, so I'll pop a clip on here. Whoa. So my idea is we'll be sketching like this. We've got one clip on like so, another clip like so, and then over here, does this one fit my pens? Not quite. Hopefully this clip fits my brushes. Nope, that's good to learn, but these ones definitely do. So got that to hold my pens and brushes, a couple more of these along here to do the same. So then I've got my little brush array, can come out here. Got my big watercolor set, which we're going to squish in, definitely going to fit. I'm using this larger clip, it will hold nice and securely, he says with confidence. Obviously it's not going to go flat with the brush there, but you get the idea. Over here I've got my water, which should be able to clip onto my palette, and the spare one which will be in my bag. And then, yep, I can hold it, I can wobble it, I can move it, I can sketch, I can have my pens all like linked in here, the other ones, brushes and things can go in my pocket. So I'd call that a pretty successful sketching setup, which will also fulfill me, create a nice flat look. Got to think about these things. Then, last but not least, we pop away our sketching things. So these are a series of pencil cases, which, well, hold a lot of pencils, a lot of pens. They're from Pan Art. I really like them. They've actually dramatically reduced the amount of storage I need in my room, and they've also dramatically increased the amount of stuff that I can use because it's all neatly organised. You don't have to open up a giant box and kind of fight your way towards the bottom of the box to find the one pencil you want. And instead you just organise things like this, and like magic you just got easily accessible sketching supplies. So my idea here is we'll put the pens in one bit. So we've got all of our pens there. The Posca can go in here. Great for doodling, great for really bold lines. On the other side we can pop our selection of pencils. So there we go. These actually fit 3 to a loop, but I don't need to squish them in when I've got so much room. There we go. And then here I can tuck away all of my brushes. So sometimes it takes a little, just that first peel up can be a little bit of a challenge, but we got there eventually. So I can go the smallest to the next smallest, so that's a size 6, a size 10, then we got a big dagger brush, then we got a big or a medium mop brush, and then we got 2 flat brushes. And look, even these really chunky brushes can squeeze in to these loops. Oh. This should be room for just there. The clips, I've got the extra one in the bag, but the clips don't have to stray far from just being on this board. And there you go. I sort of eventually got there. Chosen a few bits. It fits really neatly in one medium sized pencil case, which is all neatly organised. So I know I open the first half to sketch, I open the second half to paint. I've got my clips, my board, got my sketchbook, even got my big pencil sharpener. And this will easily just go into any rucksack. It's a nice and small size, any sort of over the shoulder bag as well. And I'm ready to hit the streets of Japan. As a bit of a spoiler, this setup worked absolutely fantastically, but I did make some changes, and you will see those in an upcoming video where I will show you what I'm using in Japan, the small changes I made and why I made them, as well as a series of other videos showing you everything I did in Japan.